Hello everyone, this is Sresh from SkyMount and today I am going to explain you about offset, fillet, chamfer. Okay. So now first here I will explain you about offset. Okay. So you already know why is offset used for. Okay. Offset is also used to, it is similar to copy but not exactly copy. Okay. But in copy what do you do is you copy the whole object. Okay. But here what you are going to do is here you are going to copy the object at some particular distance. Okay, so here now for example I am having a rectangle over here. Okay, so I am having a rectangle of 20 by 20. Okay, so here now what I am going to do is I am going to use offset command for this. Okay, so shortkey for offset is O, enter. Okay, so here I will mention the offset distance. It is asking you to mention the offset distance. So I will mention my offset distance as somewhat round 2. Okay, and click on enter. So here what I am going to do is I am going to select this object and drag it inside if I want to do inside offset, or I will drag it outside if I am going to do outside offset. Okay, so here offset is most probably used whenever you are doing plans and all that. Okay, whenever you are showing the wall thickness of the plan. Okay, so that time you will be using this offset command. Not only for rectangle, you can use it for line or any other different object, whether it is a circle or whether it is a line, whether it is a rectangle, whether it is an ellipse. So wherever you want you can use this offset command. So now again here I will click on O, enter. So now just imagine the offset distance what you had given over here, you want to give the same offset distance over here and here to the circle as well. Okay, so now just imagine if you have forgot the offset distance. Okay, so what I will do is here I can give the offset distance by showing it from here to here with the cursor itself. Okay, so now here what I will do is I will select this line and I will drag it down. So you can do the offset for number of times required. Okay, till you click on escape, the offset command will be activated. So you can see I have done it for circle, I have done it for line, I have done it for rectangle as well. Okay, so this is how you will be using offset command. So now next after offset, next here I will explain you about chamfer. So chamfer, as I have already explained you during rectangle command, that is chamfer is used for giving sharp edges. Okay, or a cut like this. Okay, so shortkey for chamfer is CHA and click on enter. Okay, so here I am having two methods to give the chamfer distance. First one is distance method, second one is angle method. Okay, so first here I will show you about distance method. So click on distance. So it will ask you to mention the first chamfer distance and the second chamfer distance. Okay, so now just imagine I will give the first chamfer distance as 1 and click on OK, sorry, enter, and the second chamfer distance as 2 and I will click on enter. So now here I will select this as my first line and I will select this as my second line. But now you can see over here, you can observe that my chamfer command is already got over. Okay, but actually I wanted to do the chamfer here, here and here as well. Okay, so for that what I am going to do is, if I am going to do more than one chamfer, after giving the distance or the angle, here I am going to click on multiple. Okay, so here I will go to distance, after mentioning the distance I will click on multiple. So now here again I will select this as first line and I will select this as second line. Okay, so now you can see the chamfer giving over here and given over here is varying. Okay, why? Because you had mentioned the first chamfer distance as 1 and the second chamfer distance as 2. Now whenever you are selecting the line over here, you are selecting this as first and you are selecting this as second. But in this case you are selecting this as first and you are selecting this as second. So only it has come wrong. Okay, so here what you are going to do is, here you are going to select again this line as first line and this line as second line. So now you can see the chamfer is coming perfectly and exactly. Okay, so over here as well. Okay, not only for this, but sometimes if you are doing some grill design type. Okay, so now here again I will go to chamfer and here I am going to use angle method now. Okay, so I will go to angle and I'll mention my first chamfer length. Like chamfer length I'm going to mention from the first line, I'll mention it as 1, and the chamfer angle from the first line I'll mention it as 45 and click on enter. Okay, so now again I'm going to do more than one chamfer because I'm going to do it like this. So I'll click on multiple. Okay, so now here just select the first line and select the second line here. But you can see here that the other two lines are gone. Okay, so in such case here what I am going to do is, here I am having one more option, that is of trim. Okay, so go to this trim and keep the trim mode as no trim. Okay, so if you click on no trim, then the line will be remain there itself and you can use the chamfer easily like this. Okay, later here what you can do is, using TR double enter, you can trim the inner part. Like this. Okay, so not only this thing, again here chamfer is also used for joining the edges. Okay, so now here I'm having two lines like this. While creating the plans, it will be very helpful for you. Okay, so now if I want to join the edge like this, okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'll go to chamfer first, and everything, the distance and the angle should be mentioned as 0. So what I'll do, I'll go to distance. As I have mentioned it, so only I am going to go particularly and mention it as 0. Okay, if you have not mentioned, then directly here what you can do is, you can just select the first line and you can select the second line. But you can see here the edge is not getting joined. Okay, why? Because here the trim option I have kept it as no trim. Okay, but actually whenever you are going to join the edge, you are going to keep the trim option as trim. Okay, so now just select the first line and select the second line. You can see it is got joined like this. Okay, so this is all about chamfer. So next, now I'll explain you about fillet. Okay, so fillet, as you all know it, that fillet is used for giving smooth edges. Okay, so now shortkey for fillet is F enter. So here in fillet command, here we are going to mention the radius of the fillet. So I'll go to radius, or I'll click on R enter, and I'll specify the radius as somewhat around 1.5 and click on enter. Okay, so now here again, if I'm going to do more than one fillet, again here I'll click on multiple. Okay, it is same like as if in chamfer. Okay, so now here again select the first line and select the second line. So you can see the edges got fillet, or the edges got smooth over here. Okay, like this. Okay, so as I have told you the options for chamfer, the same even will be continued for the fillet as well. Okay, so here again I'll go to fillet, I'll mention the radius as 1.5. so I want to do more than one, so I'll click on multiple. Now if I don't want to trim the other part of the line, so I'll go to trim mode and I'll mention the trim mode as no trim. Okay, so now select the first line and select the second line. You can see you can easily fillet like this. Okay, as chamfer is used to join the edges, even the fillet is also used to join the edges over here. Okay, so I'll go to fillet, I'll mention the radius as 0 and I can fillet it like this. So again you can see it is not getting fillet. Why? Because I have kept the trim mode as no trim. So keep the trim mode as trim, and now you can join the edges. Okay, so fillet is bit flexible using, because in chamfer I'll have to go to distance, again I'll have to go to angle and mention it as 0 0 each and everything. Okay, but in fillet directly, if I'll go to radius, if I'll mention it as 0, then directly you can join the edges. Okay, so this is all about fillet. So now I'll tell you one more command, that is join command. Okay, so now just imagine if I'm having a broken line like this. Okay, and you know that it is in a same plane. Okay, if it is in a same plane, you can use join command and you can join it back. Okay, shortcut for join is J, enter. So select both the lines like this and click on enter. You can see the object has got joined. Okay, but not only this thing. Now just imagine if you have created a rectangle using a line command. Okay, so each and every line will be different, isn't it? So now if you want to convert it to a polyline, okay, so what I can do is I can use again join command. Okay, shortcut for join is J, enter. Select the object and I'll click on enter. So you can see it will get converted to a polyline. Okay, thank you. To subscribe you can like.